Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to Mobile Alon! We're fighting right from the start.
We're having a marital bickering session before we okay it up, but we're here. How you doing, babe?
We're here. I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, I was sick all weekend, so I watched less than I think I have any weekend this year so far.
In bed or what?
Yeah, I was in bed, and Sunday I was fine. Well, not fine, but I was like, I didn't fall asleep during any of the games.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday I did. So, but you know, Red Arrow, typical weekend for that from that standpoint. You know,
Yeah.
What's up?
We both got pretty
What's
chunky
up?
red arrows here.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing lately. So,
Let me pull
spending
up Team
transfers. Going backwards, it seems to be a common theme this year.
Hey, you got +1 on your moves.
Oh,
Okay.
put that in the bank. Put that.
What did you do
baby.
again? You did.
I did Robbo, Saka, and Kai for Palm God, Kanate, and Solanke.
Yeah, +1.
So yeah,
Easy.
51 points. Haven't had a goalkeeper play in a while. That's been rough.
Man, Raya's been bad lately.
Yeah,
0-1-2-1-4. Jeez.
Yeah, it hasn't been working out there, but yeah, it's just one of those which has been every week basically of all the players that I have that get points or the players that everyone else has. And
a classic FPL problem.
Yeah. So my, in air quotes, differential picks are just blanking for fucking fun, laughing to the blank bank.
Yeah.
And I'm plummeting.
Semenyo has been an issue for us.
Yes, he has been. He has been.
And he really needs to do well after the City game, or like we've made a huge error keeping him, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's 1 blank in 3 because we're not putting him in for the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
And, we're not starting for the City game. But,
But 2, though, because we had him in Leicester also. 2 blanks in 3.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 1 return in 3.
Oh, 1 return in 3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling me your 5-5 mid's going to get 1 return in 3, I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. But we'll come on to that later. But yeah, so my team, it just kind of sucks. And Solanke, the self-loathing's off the charts, and I have things that I need to address.
Yeah.
How about you?
56. So, I mean, basically the same players got points for both of us, I think. I just got a Darwin assist and a Pickford 2-pointer. That was the difference. I also transferred out Saka and Kai, Brennan Palmer and Darwin. So a little bit more points, but very, very little. We both got big reds. I just didn't see any real teams on Discord who got points, and so I looked through the Mug League, and like just some of the shocking things in the Mug League that I saw were 22% triple cap, which is just bonkers. I had no idea it was that high. Like basically a quarter of the teams in our Mug League. Only 64% of our Mug League owns Haaland. So a lot of them were on like Cap Mo, Cap Bumo, Cap Palmer. I was surprised at that. 50% own Gvard and 40% own Wood. So it's like, oh, there's all the points. Yep.
I mean, Wood, basically, it's like if you've owned Wood, you've been getting consistent green arrows, and if you have not, you have been maintaining or going down in rank. I think that's pretty easily summarized in that concise point.
I mean, that's absolutely how it feels. Wood has just been out of control. Let me do league updates.
Sure.
Mug winners. October Mug winners. Alex Parry, a.k.a. Whack FC. Alistair Ross, a.k.a. I Like the Stock. And Kyle Shepard, a.k.a. Post Thought XG. I messaged all of you. I'll get the mugs out this week. And then shout out the public league leader, Ski Card, a.k.a. Okoli Dokali, but spelled like the Leicester guy. Sure. I'll take it. Where do you want to start? You're sad. You're not feeling it. I feel the negativity through the mic.
I'm so angry at so many players. And
do you want to talk about Dom? I mean, I feel like that was really the source of your, frustration and regret.
That tipped me into look, my hardwiring is just dark pessimism. That's just, if I have to work hard to overcome that. That's been implanted in me from my birth and all the factors that have came from that point.
And oddly enough, that's why a lot of people listen to our pod. But
sure, whatever. But
it's good for the business.
So I can find the silver lining with a Rodgers or this or that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was messaging you and really just venting it. With Solanke is all I basically do every year since Kane was a 4-5 forward, which was 8 years ago, is probably shit on Spurs. That's all I do generally. That's a 20%.
Never like them.
Never like them. That's 20% of my pie chart on the podcast is shit on Spurs. And they generally earn it. And then sometimes I ham it up. I don't know. And I'm looking at all of these fucking forwards and I'm don't believe. Oh, I believe in this guy. Don't believe in this guy. And I pick a guy I don't believe in. And I'm just why? How do I I've been playing this game for a fucking decade and I'm an actual monsoon idiot.
The Simpsons chalkboard thing? We need to make a literal 10 commandments of Simpsons chalkboard variety. That's our new merch item. Find it at evanmilvoil.com. Where it's just and one of the things that we spent so much of last season talking about, so much of this preseason postmortem, get guys you like.
Yeah. And it's we need to have a very frank conversation about how we address each other when we're asking each other about stuff because we for you, right? You think about your team, I think about my team, we think about players all the time.
Yeah.
And we need to be better at noticing, not my advice for you, helping you sift through the murk to the thing that you're your pinpoint. So when you're telling me about Darwin, I'm in my head, I'm that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I would
but
never,
you didn't say
and
anything.
did not say, I said, great, do it. I'm not going to sit here and give you better advice. You've watched and thought about this player for hundreds of hours, you know?
Yeah.
And and it's I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's for me, there are a few players that I kept kind of gravitating back towards and it's I sort of fell on Solanke late because I almost was back to the contrarianism, pessimistic fucking scum that I am, where it's we're sitting there on Friday and people are getting rid of it. And I'm but he's playing all these shitty teams. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then
no shot. Whatever.
But then I watched the game and I'm oh no, this is not a pick. This is not a pick at all. And I made a grievous error and I feel really bad and stupid for doing so. And I'm just down points, spending more transfers. I didn't really look at the use case of, what's the case for me holding him past 3 game weeks, really? There isn't one. And why would I be spending between 2 and 1 million more on this pick than someone else who I actually like? Stupid. Don't do that.
Wissa was the guy I think you liked the most, and
I liked Wissa the most.
Wood was the guy I was talking up the most on the Thursday pod.
Wood would never have happened, but it was it would have been Wissa, Jim, Isak in that order.
Right, and 2 of the 3 score. Wissa hauls, Isak scores, Jim didn't do anything.
Right, so. It's back to the same thing. Is why am I getting guys I don't like? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, X50 had a great question. He said, going to last week, I was split between going Jim, Wood, or Wissa, which I think a lot of people are based on the questions, a lot of people are kind of bringing in budget forwards in order to get premium mids. He said 2 questions. 1, how do we better judge these 50-50 calls? Feels like we more often get these wrong than right. I think back to Purvis versus Dunk as an infamous one. Is there anything that we need to be putting more weight on when making these decisions? And the answer might just be get the guys you like. Number 2, once we've made the 50-50 call and it seems to have been the wrong decision, how quickly should we be acting to reverse our decision? Or should we look to stay the course, save a transfer, hope that our choice pays off long term?
Yeah, I mean, these are enormous
It's a very
questions.
postmortem-ish question, yeah.
Yeah, the latter one, I think it's a little easier. Is it's so much more contextual based because you have to look at the fixture run and the rest of your team and like how many whatever, blah, 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 that kind of thing. But I do think that there is merit to correcting mistake. Like, because I'm honestly sitting here and I'm like, I need to just get rid of Solanke. Like, I don't care that he plays Ipswich after Villa. Like, they could just not score against Villa. I mean, I get that they're maybe marginally better at home, but this team is, I don't know. But, you know, it's like, I've been making fun of people on Discord for months about falling prey to Spurs attack, and here I am. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, I have
a lot of this also put it on the fucking chalkboard is because the player is more expensive doesn't mean he's better.
Yeah,
right. Like you decided. I think totally fine decision for the record, but you decided I'm gonna also do the Rabo to Konate move, not just the double move, so I have more money and more options at forward. Totally fine decision. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then you're sitting there with a bank account that's like 8 million.
I can afford him.
To sort it by price, like any fucking pervert
I didn't do that.
does.
But no, I mean, I was like, I can afford him, so he must be best because he's more expensive.
Yeah, therefore, I get him. Yeah,
it's insane. But I take exception with the premise of the first question, saying these are not 50-50 calls. You know, there's a lot that you can look into each pick with the fixture run and the past performance, predicting future achievement. And, you know, it's just not 50-50 calls.
It's not 50-50. All I was saying on Thursday is Wood is head and shoulders better than all of these guys. Not close. Yeah, and have to get him. Yeah.
Yeah. And that I don't agree with that sweeping assessment because I feel like he's just playing over his skis to an unbelievable level at this point. But there are certain points like this type of thing with Wood is getting to the point of like Gundo from a couple of years ago where it's like, or Almiron, right? Where it's like, I don't know or really understand why or how, and just let me surrender to this for now. Yeah. And if he blanks for a few times or he remembers who he is, then I'll just get rid of him with everybody else and it won't hurt that bad. That's a very reasonable approach here because no one will be sitting here in January and saying, thank God I've had Chris Wood for game weeks 10 to 20. He will be in no teams. He will not be in any teams.
Very likely. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Like you can fucking clip this and keep the receipt if you want, but you know, is that going to be game week 13, game week 15, game week 18? When is that?
Good luck figuring that out.
Break? You know, I don't know. So that's whatever with Chris Wood. But, you know, looking at like, you know, Wissa, you know, you have to look at Pens, the team's attack, like the underlyings, like you look at all the things that we always look at. And it's not just like, oh, this is too hard, so I'm gonna stop thinking about it and just assume it's like, oh, they're all the same. Like they're not all the same. One is clearly better than others, and then there's a ranking or whatever, you know, and you can play the 40% chip or play the 40%er because you think that there's more EV there or something. Fine, do that. But you know, you can sit there and analyze it and come up with your ideas based on, you know, reasonable information, right?
Yeah, totally agree. Let's talk more about Spurs. Cutler, Fed, Josh, Bear, they're all mad at BJ and or Dom. Basic question is, are Spurs assets a hold or a sell? Are picks like BJ and Dom cheap enough that you can justify holding them through good and bad fixtures and be fine? So what are their upcoming fixtures again? I don't have it up right
Villa
now.
home. Yeah. And then Ipswich home, then at City, which, you know, we know, you know, that they typically do there. Home Fulham, at Bournemouth, home Chelsea, at Southampton, home Liverpool, blah, 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 blah.
Weird run. Weird run.
Yeah. Some good spliced with some bad. And, you know.
And the obvious, like, next two before an international break and before at City feel holdable to me. I don't know. I was hanging with Nate during the Arsenal Liverpool game, and we were kind of like laughing at Spurs, like, oh wow, how did they not score? Like, how did this Palace team beat them 1-0? And I actually watched the game back today because I felt like I needed to watch it because I knew we'd talk about them. But I just feel like
You watched the whole game?
yeah, I watched the game back.
Sorry.
I just throw it on and while I'm eating lunch or whatever. It's like the way I see it, it's like
lunch, really?
yeah, fucking whatever. I'm chilling. Girlfriend's out of town. I'm in town. Hey. But yeah, Nate and I were talking about how like inconsistent they are, and then the follow up to that was every team's inconsistent except for the best 3 teams and the worst 3 teams. That's just true. The top 3 teams are good almost every week, deserve to win almost every week, beat the teams that are significantly worse than them almost every single week. And the bad teams are consistently fucking bad. And Southampton and Ipswich and, fucking Leicester, whatever. And every other team is out of control schizo. I mean, last year Spurs did the exact same thing. They blanked fucking Luton and Wolves and Hammers and Fulham and blah, blah. Then they also put 5 past Burnley, 4 past Newcastle, 4 past Villa, scored 3 goals a billion other times. That's just who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that I agree with that completely. And you can look at 14 teams in the league and put them in this inconsistent performance bucket. But I think from an FPL standpoint, like that's not helpful, right? We have to take that further and say like, okay, assuming all these teams are inconsistent, like we still need to mitigate and prevent ourselves from having these bad picks because like the best player on the inconsistent team, which is, the best player on these teams, they still shoot, they still have influence in a game, they still create chances or they take set pieces. So you can't have someone who is prone to be a passenger and who looks like he's just met everyone. It's not good, right? And you can still have teams that are inconsistent and you still have a player who's, putting up some underlying XG every game. Or like, look at like Eze, right? Like this was a unique case because with Sarr introduced, he was playing way further forward than he has in the recent Palace games I've watched. He was doing a lot less donkey work in midfield and he was just so
bad.
Yeah, they were just passing to the wrong team.
Fucking horrible. Yeah.
As much as possible, which, you take that. But like, as he just shoots fucking a few times a game.
Minimum.
And it's not going to be, gilt edge chances in the box necessarily all the time. And he doesn't have all the avenues anymore. But, you're not going to watch a game and be like, holy shit, he was a million, billion, gazillion miles away from points. You watch every game and you're like, oh, he's their best team and they were bad today. And if they get better, like he's going to get points automatically.
Yeah. And like, as you're saying that, I'm like, Semenyo, exact same bucket.
Same
right?
exact
it's
case.
Like,
exact
they
same
can
case.
play terribly and he'll still take 5, albeit bad, he'll take 5 bad shots. And that's a lot better than when they play badly, specifically Dom in his last 2 games and he gets, 0 shots. And it's just like, wait, what? Like something's like broken.
Yeah. And it genuinely to me, it looks like it's broken. Like they don't know where he is or how the patterns of play are supposed to go of what does a Spurs goal look like? I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. Yeah. Like it's a deflected shot off of like Romero to Werner to BJ to a cross
cut back
that goes
Matto
I don't
shot.
know. I don't know. Yeah. Like I don't know what it looks like. I just don't. I can't tell you.
Totally.
And so long he's sometimes playing in midfield. He just makes runs that no one passes to him. But I mean, Kulusevski was fucking drunk and high in this game. It was something else with him. But I mean, Matto just kind of wants to shoot all the time. I mean, there's just no combination play whatsoever. So it's just terrifying to me. And I don't like Solanke's movement was just, he wasn't being found. And it's hard for me to imagine like in the near term, like he's gonna be good. I just can't see it happening.
And I'm just the, devil's advocate, I guess, angel's advocate in this case, because I'm thinking positively, but I just see these next two and I'm like, they'll probably score 3 in at least one of those. And, a few game weeks ago, he had back-to-back monster shot games, monster XG games, scored in both of them, assisted the next week, and then 2 absolute duds from him. And, you hate to see it, obviously, as an owner, but I'm just like, yeah, he'll probably fucking score. Like, that's how, sometimes there's clarity in being a non-owner. And as a non-owner, I look at like, oh, Spurs, home Villa, home Ipswich. I'm like, fuck. Like I have to fucking pray that like Dom and BJ don't kill me, which sounds ridiculous to owners because they've been killing them. But that's still how it feels as a non-owner.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's played 7 games and he's had 3 games where he's looked like getting points. And that's fine, I guess. But you have
minimum.
You have 5 forwards who are $1 million or more cheaper than him.
1 to 2 million.
Who are at minimum equalizing that output.
Yes.
So that makes him not a pick. Just not a pick at all.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of maths out
and I'm fine
me,
with that. I'm totally fine with that. And BJ's, a little cheaper, different position, actually gets chances even when they play badly. Like he still got their best chance and hit the post.
Yeah, I mean,
so
BJ
it's like a little bit of a different, thing to me.
BJ and under his XG, like tell me a better iconic duo or whatever. I mean, he's on.
But
at
least
that.
He gets the big chance every game at least.
Totally.
So
totally.
Dude, fucking Ten Hag. Saccharino.
The tennist.
Ball sack.
Rep to tennist, hogs.
I'm actually sad about it. I thought they would be bad for a lot longer.
Well, who's to say things are going to change? I mean, we don't know that they're not going to just continue to fucking suck ass.
It's hard for me to imagine a manager comes in and keeps them at like 14th. I just like find that hard to believe. But Jack said 10 Hog gone. Now is it Bruno time? Josh B said, what does the sacking of 9 Hogs actually mean for United assets?
I mean, it's really ridiculous to talk about this, isn't it?
It's nothing. Yeah, we don't know anything.
We don't know anything. Like, if you have them, I don't know. I mean, I guess they'll get a little bounce here, a little bouncy bounce, but who knows?
Good. I mean, it's bad timing because he should have been sacked in fucking April of last year, obviously. But it's like also kind of good timing because, they have home Chelsea, they have away Arsenal on the horizon, but they have a lot of very winnable games also. And they could just get some fucking dope in there, Rude or Ole or whoever the fuck. And they might just win a couple of these and feel good about themselves because they're better than Leicester and Ipswich and Everton.
Yeah. Sure. They'll finish 8th or whatever. It's great for them. Yeah, it's just annoying because we have this fucking worldwide fans. It's like, this is just like a bullshit bad the team. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah,
they're just a bad team. Care. Like, I don't care. We don't talk about fucking Fulham this much. Like, they're the same. They play equivalently.
It is unbelievable that he beat Russell Martin to the punch. And that seemed an unwinnable race.
Yeah,
like how has that happened?
Yeah.
Like, I
that's
don't know.
fair. That's
but
fair.
Pep says Russell Martin's the fucking best manager in the world.
Yeah,
so
he praises him after he fucking hands him his lunch. But I did want to just circle back because I know we're gonna get to other topics. But Palace, for all as bad as Spurs were, as as bad as they typically always are. I mean, Sar, I thought had a really bad first half hour or so, but he played a bit better in the second half, and he gives us what we need down that flank. Even though he's
his spot
for
another
start.
I think at least a few games. It's this is the team.
I'm not that ready to go there. I just don't. I don't know.
I just think compared to the other, Kamada, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. No, compared to the other options, I think he probably needs to get a run. Yes, but with him, Mateta, as they could come back in here, as
I'm
option.
looking at him.
Yeah. I mean, the fixtures are very mixed, but we still have all the same things that we've been talking. We don't know if he's on pens and he's not taking corners anymore and whatever the fuck, but the fixtures are very up and down, but we still have the thing that, not many other teams have, which is no Europe. He's 6'7" now. So he's definitely, someone to monitor, because if we can kind of build on this and, keep playing in this way, then, he'll keep getting returns. And so
and he takes some corners, and he takes at least, we assume, 50% of the pens. I also think Mateta, like sort of similar bucket. He's earned himself. Okay, I'm done with Nketiah. That was fucking dumb. He never should have started over Mateta to begin with. He earned himself some starts. He's gonna take half-ish of the pens. He's the tip of the spear.
He's just
fine.
back to the price. Like, he's not a million more than these fucking Wood acolytes.
But he's good.
Like, that's the issue. Yeah, of course. We know what he's capable of. We've already seen it, but
Yeah, I mean,
I still think that
go ahead.
He's still so stuck with, like, Necktie is a long-term striker. So he's going to have to fucking figure out how to play him into form and put him in the team, because he can't have a lost year where he plays 1,000 minutes. Like, that's not a thing. And Mateta's gone in the summer. So I'm worried about how that's going to, I'm worried about how that's going to play out. But it is and is not related to Eze, but in the meantime, like, I just feel like looking at it and looking at the midfield landscape, it's like, Eze, while it was one game and he was fucking terrible. Granted, I need to say that out loud firstly. He was fucking awful. Every single thing he did in the final third was ridiculous, and he was diving for pens like he usually does. But he was getting in positions, and
the touch for Mateta's goal was fucking.
It was the only good thing he did the whole game.
Yeah. And Nez was asking what's wrong with Palace, but we can move on from there. Hardly Boys though said, was there anything?
Really good.
Oh yeah, he was good too. Yeah,
really good.
Harley Boys was saying, was there anything you saw out of Palace's performance to think their defenders might be options soon? Because Munoz still was super far forward, crossing, but like
I think that the biggest issue here is, I mean, look, we were there for the taking. If we were playing a good team, we lose that game 4-1 probably.
Yeah.
Lerma can't stay fit. Ducoré can't stay fit. Wharton's carrying a surgical related injury. It's less the defense and more the midfield. It's like, we just don't have anyone there. I mean, we're playing. Who do we have? We have fucking Hughes, and who's playing in the pivot?
Hughes and Wharton.
And then Wharton's like on one leg, and then they take him off and put it's
probably numbed his whole groin or something. He can't even fucking jerk it later.
Yeah, and like Ducoré is just, he can't start and play more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, Lerma came off after like 15 or something. That was ugly.
That the engine room is a mess, and like, we play with a lot of defenders, and they're good. Like Mitchell, Munoz, Gay, Lacroix's good. Chalba's. I'm on record as not being his biggest fan, but he's competent in a back three.
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Look, I mean, people detract on Henderson as much as they want, and he had this spill at NFO, but he's been fucking really good. Like, he's been the farthest thing from our problem. Like, he's been net positive. So, but it's just the engine. Like, the midfield's just a problem, and like, we're going to be giving up big chances every game. So I just don't think that's a place to go. And, look, they're cheap, and it's not like they're 50 good 4-4 defenders, but I'm not like, get them and you can start them and feel good. It's just like, I don't expect us to ever keep it clean the way that we're playing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wood and the other forwards and other questions there. The shots and Halvard said, besides Wood, who is clearly the best of the bunch, who's the second best budget forward? Can you talk more about
Wood, your Wood analysis? Because you've been standing Wood.
I mean, I guess
how do you see this going?
Yeah, I wish I remembered what I said on Thursday better, because this is basically like a copy and paste. But I'm just seeing a Nuno team playing really well, which we've seen before. A Nuno team constructed in the way that he wants, with a big number 9 who just gets on the end of shit. That's all he does. That's all he's asked to do. And we're seeing the renaissance of a player who has been very good before. He had this weird lull of like, he's the most washed guy in the universe. I mean, this is some Newcastle fan tweeted at us this week, was like, I can't believe the worst player I've ever seen at my club is scoring every week for Nottingham Forest, because that's the level that he was at for Newcastle. But we're seeing like him back to his like Burnley best, which is just like, get a few chances, get a few big chances. And he had some really good finishing years back then too. He wasn't always like this donkey that he's perceived to be. And Obviously, he's finishing over his XG. Anyone would be if you're second to Haaland in goals. That's like by nature you're probably over your XG, but he's getting big chances every single game. Like the first one versus Leicester was a fucking worldie. Like that was just an unbelievable like bottom corner strike.
The second one was an abomination by the defender.
Complete abomination. But again, that's what he does. He gets a big chance and he scores it.
So, but like, do you put because I have such a hard time like reconciling these ones where it's a big chance that's created by your team and then a big chance that's created by like he's putting him under pressure because he's asking the question and he's there and he's like big and he's been fucking him all game, I guess. Yeah. Like, is that like you expect that for Chris Wood? Like he's going to get those or?
Yeah. I mean,
because to me, I'm just like, that's so fucking insane. Like, how does this ever happen? Like, this doesn't happen when I own my strike. Yeah,
there's obviously luck, I mean, Jim just did it to Pal, the week before. Like it is a tactic to go long to your big physical guy and let him outmuscle someone who's very bad, like Fosh. But they, that's like almost besides the point to me. Is like, okay, sure, like the 2 goals weren't that repeatable from this week, but he still gets big chances basically every game.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to finish the fucking year with 25 goals. I'm not fucking insane, but like if he gets 1 and 2 because he keeps getting huge chances against the bad teams,
he'll have 24 goals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 24. And I just think it's overthinking. Like it's just purely overthinking. Like he's just looks incredible. And the team is playing so well. The team, it's not like a fluke that they're in 7th. They deserve to be in 7th. They look really good. They have a lot of creativity, a lot of crossers.
Yep.
It's just a good team.
Yeah. I mean, all that tracks. I don't know. It's also so hard because we were big Wood fans back in the day.
Oh, back in the day.
I mean, we loved Wood.
He's backstabbed us by being washed.
Well, yeah, but like that was back when it was him and Barnes, and like people were getting Barnes instead of Wood, and we were getting Wood, and the whole thing. I mean, the other thing too with Wood that's actually fucking I forget all the time is he's on pens.
On pens. He took pens from Gibbs White and said, "Fuck off! I'm the pen god."
He's also on pens, so it's just
he ticks every box. Like we've been talking about midfielder and their box ticking.
He ticks
Striker
every box.
Boxes are limited. Like I want them to get big chance, take a decent amount of shots, and take pens, and that's every striker box that's available.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, by the time it's game week 20 in the 2025, I expect him to be in no teams by whether he gets hurt or he's blanked for 5 game weeks in a row when they play Arsenal, City, United, Villa, Bretham. Like, he just blanked all those games because, it's a 35-year-old Chris Wood. He's never been older than he is now. Like,
how old is he actually? He's 32.
I think it's like,
Yeah.
I guess that's like kind of peak poaching striker.
Yeah, but like
never cared about fucking pace years, but
like you say though, I mean, right? It's the next 5 are start him with confidence home West Ham, start him with confidence home Newcastle, bench him to fuck at Arsenal, start him with confidence home Ipswich, bench to fuck at City.
Yeah.
Incredible pick. You just need someone to slot in those games. Your 8th attacker starts 2 games and you have an incredible Wood like the other games. I'm thinking about bringing him in right now.
Yeah, or he scored against Chelsea at the Bridge, like, or you just don't bench him because whatever. Yeah. I mean, everyone else gets 2, like all my players get 2 points every week. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, Dibling's not going to actually get points when you need him.
We have to talk about him at some point today.
Hopefully not. But who is the second best budget guy, I guess, is what people are asking, because everyone's making these double moves.
It's not close. It's not close. It's Wissa.
Well,
it's just
I think
not
Welbs
close.
is still underrated. Welbs is just phenomenal.
He is, but don't they have this murderous row of fixtures
they have
right now?
Two bad ones. They have at Liverpool and City, and then they have good ones.
Yeah. I mean, so talk to me after that. But look, you're not bringing him for Liverpool City. That's fucking insane.
No.
Yeah. But yeah,
he's fucking great. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brighton are they create so much and they deserve everything they get every game because whatever Hertzler's doing is whatever Hertzler's doing. But there's openness, there's, clever interplay, there's chance creation, and Welbs is just, he looks great. So he's definitely a pick, but no, I mean, Wissa, I think, is just another level. Like, the amount of chances that this player gets is actually unconscionable.
They're
like,
doing
the amount of
weird fucking shit. Brentford are very
I don't
weird
know what
this year.
I don't watch them close enough to understand
I watched
anything.
that game, and it was just like a complete clown show.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've just, Frank is just having like the time of his life. The salad days for Frank.
He's just experimenting with crazy shit every
They're
game.
sixth in open play XG.
Yeah.
Because City, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Brentford. They're just ahead of Arsenal.
You know what else? What they're not sixth in is clean sheets. I mean,
they stopped doing that.
They have none.
The data analyst said, fucking YOLO this season. That's the way home. And Frank's like, okay, I do what you say. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, they have factual 0 clean sheets, and they are just selling out insanely to
They've
attack.
Conceded 18, which is only worse. Is only better than Wolves, Ipswich, Southampton.
Okay.
In that order. And they've scored 18, which is only less than City and Chelsea.
Yeah, they're busy. They're
the best watch. Somehow, they've been the worst watch for ever since they came into the league, and somehow now they're the best watch. Yeah.
They've got it all going on right now, but yeah, I mean, Wissa's like
good, man.
The underlying stats that he puts up when he starts and plays 90 back to the beginning of last year, I mean, he basically just gets an XG of 1 every fucking game. Like, that's just what he does every game. That's wild. And he's just so active and such a menace, and they create so many turnovers and such high pressure, like, final, like, and he's just on the end of a lot. His movement's great. He has pace. He's just fucking awesome. Like, he's really, really fucking good. And they have really good fixtures for a little run here, and then it gets tough in December and January. But he's fit and, almost braced the own goal, whatever. Double return. I expect him to just keep getting points because
he had another 1v1 later in that game.
Yeah, that he fucked up. I mean, he's 5'9".
Yeah.
He's 5'9". Yeah,
he's phenomenal.
He's unbelievable. He's a great pick.
Camby said, where are you at on holding Kai? And then Elgato said, talk to me about DCL versus Jim. What's going on? So many people have DCL. It must be a fucking FPL review or something. Because what are we doing?
I don't know. I mean, holding him is something else. I can't really.
You can't really
speak on. Yeah, you have to just stop looking at fixtures and stop saying like, oh, he's on pens and he's cheap and oh, they're playing like. I don't expect him to score against Southampton at all.
Why would he?
Yeah, I don't ever expect him to score. I mean, he had that one game goal assist and then a goal in the Villa game, and then it's just he's gone back to stone cold crickets.
I mean, the problem isn't getting chances. That's all he fucking does is get chances. He just can't score them.
Yeah, he's
so like
not
playing
a
against
player.
a bad defense. I'm not
model.
like, oh, finally he's gonna get chance. All he does is get chances every fucking game.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
I just don't think he's going to score them ever. And
it doesn't matter.
Don't care. Yeah, Beto in.
Well, I don't know that, but yeah, they're just doomed. Yeah, they're just doomed. But what was the other part of the question?
What about holding Kai? Weird, right? He's so good. They still have back-to-back aways, then home NFO, which isn't good. Even though, they'll win the game, but it's not good.
I mean, look, I'm Arsenal without Odegaard is just a problem. Like, I don't know what's going on. Their attack and their creation is just very kind of stodgy. Like, I don't know how it's coming or when it's coming. They just seem to want to defend mostly all the games, and he's not cheap. Like, all of a sudden, I mean, Jim, right, was mentioned. He was fucking amazing against Everton. Like, he could have had many returns. He's just, every game, Fulham are great. He looks great. Like, there are many budget forwards, and these guys that are priced higher just don't have enough on them to warrant the the outlay. Period, to me, and I think Kai is very firmly in that category where this isn't a free scoring team. This isn't a team that is creating tons of chances. This is a team that just wants to turtle on a lead, and he doesn't look like he's got goal and an assist game week 1 against Wolves at home. And then he's just had 3 returns in 8 games since, and, all spread out. And that looks about right. It's not like should have more returns or, oh my God, Kai's a great pick. It's just like he's going to tick and he's not worth his price based on the FPL landscape to me. How do you see Kai?
Yeah, I actually don't see it the same way, but I'll caveat that with I don't want him in the next 3 fixtures. Like I'm just like, they'll score some goals. I still think Arsenal are right in there for the title. I mean, I think they're still fucking amazing. And they've been absolutely amazing in every 11v11 game this season. But they just have so many reds, and Kai's had to play so much midfield and dog work and all this bullshit. But when the run is good, I'm still all in. As soon as it's at West Ham in 13, I want Saka and Kai. I straight up, they just came off of, Liverpool and 10-men Bournemouth. And so they had bad numbers. The 2 games before that, we're talking about 2.8 and 4.4 XG. They scored 7 goals in 2 games.
Well,
and obviously,
home Southampton, home Leicester.
Yeah, they're the best 2 fixtures in the league, but still, other teams aren't putting up those numbers. They could have scored fucking 7 versus Leicester. They were insane. So when the fixtures are good, I still back the team. But yeah, the Odegaard injury doesn't help. Saka being fit for, I don't even know how long he was fit for yesterday. I mean, whenever that was, Sunday, a 45 to 50. I mean, he was done after that. He just didn't get subbed until 80 for some reason. That doesn't help. And then, the fucking red cards. The fucking red cards are insane, man.
Yeah, I hear you, and they're gonna have easier run, and they've had a hard run, and I just worry about the team in general because the Odegaard injury, the way that affects the team, and Martinelli's just fucking bad. Where's the creativity coming from? They just like to recycle possession a lot. I don't know. I'm a bit down on them. I think that they're still going to just keep winning games because they have so much quality, but they have to integrate Marino. Where is it? It's just they score on a set piece and then they just don't play for 40 minutes in a game. Yeah. It's I don't know, man. It's but again,
Saka that's Liverpool. They don't do that against bad teams.
Don't they?
No, they just keep the ball in the attacking third the whole game and the other team can't get out. And that's what they do against the bad teams. I just think the red cards color a lot of this, and he'll be back probably soon, I think, based off the original estimation anyway, Odegaard.
Yeah, but I mean, you're also looking at the second year of he's playing the same 5 to 7 players 5,000 minutes a year.
I mean, that's just almost a different conversation with the management of the injuries.
But it goes together because I'm also looking at this of he's had opportunity to rotate. Raz isn't playing. I mean, he's just not doing it. He's still refusing to do it. And I imagine that there's got to be Jesus just doesn't play anymore. There's got to be some stress test where it's there's a pass the bend, don't break, and it just breaks because we're seeing Saka, missing games for the first time that, he usually hasn't been doing. And the defense is getting a little bit more ravaged. But how they're going to still play 3 games a week for the next, 3 months. Yeah. And it's the same, it's the same core here. And I'm
I'm with you there. I mean, if I was on an Arsenal pod, these are all the questions I'd be asking. I'd be, where's Raz? Where's Jesus? Especially when they're up 2-0 in a game and Saka still plays 90, whatever. Even though he limps off literally every game for a fucking year and a half, he still plays 90 all the time. Why'd we sell Smith Rowe? Why'd we sell Nketiah? Why'd we loan Vieira? Why'd we loan Reece? Odegaard gets injured, like, why'd we get rid of these guys again? Like, why'd we thin the squad to buy Marino? I don't know. There's questions there, totally. And I could see, I think Neil said it on one of the shows, but I could totally see this year being like, oh, Odegaard's back, but now Saka's hurt. You know, Saka's back, and then Kai gets hurt, or Rice, or because they play, like you said, 5,000 minutes a year. It's not really possible to do that anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I still think for now they're not broken and gonna win and score in most games.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. I mean, it's almost something to watch, because if the injuries do start really piling up with the attackers, they're obviously piling up for the defenders right now. But if they pile up for the attackers, yeah, maybe it is just like an avoid kind of team, and they just have like a season from hell that has happened to Liverpool. Klopp Liverpool has happened to Pep too, you know?
Yeah. I mean, to me, there's like the stench is beginning here. Like there's just a little bit of rottenness where it's like, oh, who's hurt now? It's like, oh, it's Gab bonks his knee. Timber, Calafiori's like a
rushed
sick
back
note.
Early. Saka rushed back early.
Saliba red cards. Zinchenko's maybe, stumping for money for Ukraine. I don't know where he is. Kivior not trusted.
Calafiori hurt.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, we're real bare bones in defense. I mean, they're putting Tom in at right back, and Martinelli's he really fries my head.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like where's the creativity? Where it's just like basically Saka when Odegaard's out, and that's it. Yeah. And Odegaard's he might not be back till fucking 2025.
Yeah, I don't remember what I thought it wasn't supposed to be that long, but I don't know if we've ever gotten an update.
Yeah, Arteta tells truthful messages in press conferences. So
absolutely.
So Arsenal a little bit mixed there from us, I guess. But
yeah.
Still a couple tough ones coming up, and then they do have a good run because they have had a pretty tough fixture run at the beginning. The last like half of the first 18 or whatever is a little bit better for them, but all right, we'll see there.
It's weird too with their fixtures, just to talk about them for one more second, because obviously they've played Liverpool, City, North London Derby, they had Brighton and Villa. Like 5 out of their 9 are hard.
They also had home Southampton,
home Leicester, home Southampton, home Wolves, and they drop points and away Bournemouth with a red card. So they've had some of the easiest fixtures you'll have all year, and some of their hardest.
Yeah. Not a lot of mid-table fixtures.
Okay, that's Arsenal. What's next? Mo?
Well, I think the Villa needs to be discussed, I think.
Talk to me about Villa.
I mean, they were just...
Talk about another inconsistent team.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like, honestly, every episode that we do each week is just going from one extreme to the other with Villa.
Yeah.
And it's really tough having 3 of their players in my FPL team, as I have for a long time.
Well, at least one never plays, right?
Yeah, Pau doesn't ever leave the bench, which is thank God. But
Rodgers finally got subbed early. He started every game in every competition so far.
Yeah, and he was so bad. It's so annoying how fucking bad he is at finishing. Like he does these wonderful things in the middle third.
Yeah.
And the minute he gets his big chance, which he gets a big chance every game, it's like he doesn't even know what football is. Never played it before. Yeah. Don't know what it is. Like, I'm going to give this to a fan. Like, I'm going to find someone in the stands and the ball's going to go directly to them. Yep. Or, the goalkeeper, let me roll it to him as softly as possible so he can collect it in his hands. Is that the point of the game? This is the game I'm playing. It's so frustrating watching him play. And, I mean, he was just losing the ball, like, out of control and then walking and just...
Ultimately, it was a good sub because it was just like, he shouldn't be on the pitch right now. Yeah.
I mean, they could have subbed him at half. Like, he had one good chance, and he also could have had 2 or 3 assists. Like, I mean, he just had some really nice, like, little passes in the box to, like, Ollie had a shot that was saved or blocked or something. Like, he had a couple opportunities there, but I don't know what to do with it. Like, I can't make my mind up with him in terms of FPL of, like, he should just be the bench shield or he's a starter. Like, I just don't know what to do.
Well, I think fixture-wise, 3 of the next 4, I think ideally he's on your bench. I mean, you could make a case for away Spurs that they'll get chances there, but also he's like out of form and clearly very tired. And, maybe they'll get the week off, right? Because I think it's just bullshit cup games this week.
So I think he's an okay start for Spurs.
Yeah, maybe he's back at it for Spurs, and that's fine. But then away Liverpool in 11, away Chelsea in 13, I do not want to play him. I think that
definitely not the Liverpool game.
You gotta treat him, dude. Definitely not the Chelsea game. If there's there's one exception to the only consistent teams
in his pocket,
are the good teams. Yeah. Chelsea might enter the good team conversation soon. Caicedo and Lavia looked fucking really great. Good. Dropping Enzo's the best thing they could do.
Yeah, Lavia sucks.
Legit.
100 mil sucks.
100 mil, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. He's just Jorginho.
I'm with you on that.
So I think you want to bench him there, but then rotate him. You got to rotate him. And the rest of those games, home Palace, home Brentford, home Southampton, fucking I still believe that that's worth starting him. I think getting a big chance every game, creating a big chance every game, whatever, good enough to start.
Yeah.
But he's got to be rotated for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and then Ollie, looking over to there is he almost kept the ball in for that assist that was called off by a millimeter. I still just feel like, he had a chance or two and it was a header here, a little thing here, a little thing over there. Yeah. It's watching them play is just so frustrating because they just fucking don't do anything. Oh my God, does this team do nothing? They do not do anything. And the time just goes by, and it's where was the game? What were you trying to do? Where was the ball? And I'm just I want the time back. And they're going to keep playing more games. I don't know.
Arsenal fans are just sitting at home listening, being I told you, Emery, fucking fraudiola.
It's insane.
He just really has a fucking light switch, and one of them is attack, and the other one is kill everything and do nothing, and just literally play dead. And he oscillates between the two based on whatever he fucking thinks is happening and the best thing to do, and the tiredness of his players. I think we saw that in the Manchester United game. No one could play. All right, then no one gets to play. If we can't play, no one gets to play. That's his attitude. And I mean, they're inconsistent. It's the same. It's almost the same thing as Spurs. It's they could score 0 home Southampton. I wouldn't be surprised. They could also score 4 this weekend at Spurs. Wouldn't be surprised. Both those things are in play. I mean, Duran missed a huge chance. Ollie had chances. They could have had a pen. McGinn had that goal. Barely the ball went out. They could have put up multiple. Wass had a big chance. But
Well, he scored his big chance off.
He scored another chance
or whatever.
That was the hilarious
that was so funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still just feel Ollie is. I think I need to just never watch Villa.
They're on a never watch. They're on a never watch.
Unless if there's a real big because I watch them where it's okay, there's some fixture run impending, or I'm not sure what to do. So I better watch to make a decision. And I watch and I'm just left I know more less confused of what to do than I did before. Every time.
I think they're genuinely a good watch when they're home in a big one. I think when Villa Park is fucking rocking and they're going to be up for it, great. But home Palace, home Brentford, home Southampton, away NFO, away Chelsea, fuck off. I don't want to watch any of those fucking games.
Yeah. All right. And then Semenyo too. I was keeping an eye on him because he was doing a lot of midfielding. I was very unhappy about a lot of midfielding. Yeah. And I felt our Ariella was really fucking off his fucking rocker with his game plan in this game.
He had a very bad game, Ariola.
Very bad game. It was really stunning. What Bournemouth
The one thing I'm happy with is he admitted it. Afterwards, he was just we were bad. I set them up wrong. We should have lost. We're lucky to get away with one.
Good.
Only good thing he did.
I didn't see that. I mean, they were abject, and it's just it was a tough one, but I still I believe so much in Semenyo. And in the last 15 minutes when he made a few subs and they were losing or draw,
his spot,
and they started
finally.
They started playing. He was lying in his normal position. I was like, yes, this is like the player I know, and the things were happening again. But they were just a fucking mess.
The dream for us is, because I'm still planning on holding him too. I don't know. Maybe we're both really fucking dumb, but I'm willing to, pay to find out. But the dream for us is he just does some weird shit against City and just tries to counter with, pacey randos, and Semenyo doesn't even start. He comes on late and they try and nick one or something, because we need him fucking fresh and firing for the good fixture run. Because what's his leash? Like, okay, we're both benching him this game week. What's the leash after that? Because I feel like it's fucking short. Away Brentford?
It's not short for me. It's so long.
Dude, you say that now, but if he blanks away Brentford, home Brighton, I don't know if you're going to be.
I'm telling you, there are players that I know and that I have the leash length. His leash, for me, it would be I would have to see Ipswich at Ipswich.
X-leash.
The X-leash. At Ipswich, game week 15. If he has one return between now and then I'll probably get rid. But I'm probably looking at minimum, I'm going to go to 15 with him and then reassess.
Fine.
I like him. I really like him a lot.
You like the stock?
I think he's just fantastic. And I think that Ariel will get out of his own way and he's just going to be returning and scoring every other game. That's just how I see him. So
good.
He has a long leash for me.
Okay. Mo conversation is heating up a little. Jeff D said, first of all, how is Mo so good on bones now? Harley said, is it worth taking a hit to get Mo to captain? And then Voldy said, I'm considering Haaland to Nico and my fodder to Mo cap. What do you think about that? I'm considering it too at this point. I really am.
Yeah, tell me.
Listen, Haaland's fucking amazing.
I'm listening.
Anyone who says City are fucked up, blah, blah, they should have scored fucking 4 or 5 against Southampton. They were completely fine. Haaland just missed sitters. And that'll happen every once in a while, whatever. They played great. I have no problem with how they're playing or how he's playing. Away Bournemouth, away Brighton, home Spurs, at Liverpool, home NFO. If there's ever a time to go away from him, cap some different guys, now's that time, I think. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm definitely doing it because I definitely don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm considering it because, again...
I'm definitely considering it.
Definitely maybe. But Mo has home Brighton, home Villa, at Southampton. And like you said on, I don't remember if it was Thursday or Monday.
He has home Brighton, home Villa, at Papua New Guinea, at Eritrea, at Southampton.
Wow, good fucking pulls from you, by the way, on the countries.
Is Papua New Guinea in Africa, or is that?
Yeah, that wasn't a run of the mill. You didn't go fucking Kenya and Nigeria. You went fucking.
I didn't go for the typical ones, right?
Yeah, you went differential, okay. Full differential. Oh fuck, Papua New Guinea is next to Australia. Fuck, there is a Guinea there though somewhere. Guinea, just. Not new.
Is that an Italian joke?
No. Holy shit. Whoa, dude. Guinea is in Africa. Papua New Guinea is far away land.
Same team.
They're
distant cousins.
They're definitely related. I don't know how.
Anyway, so keep going on your Mo situation.
Yeah, that's it. Home Brighton. Okay. He's the best cap in game week 10. Home Villa in 11 is great. At Southampton in 12, he's the best cap again in game week 12. I mean, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's just bold and in your face that this is a move that you should be doing. But the fear factor of Haaland is still there because he could just hat trick in any of these games.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be weird.
Yep. A common trope that we have touched on for 2 years. So do you want to dance with the devil or lay down and... Hodl, Haaland. I don't know what to tell you, man. The
convenience also of being able to just, figure out. You have to obviously plan in advance. When am I getting Haaland back? Probably in 14 for home NFO or 15 at Palace. But you can also just like turn one of your premium mids into Saka in 13, back when Arsenal's fixtures get good, assuming fitness and all that. And it just makes a lot of sense. It's where I want to use my transfers. It's who I want to captain, all these things. But it's very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, man. I mean, I did it last year. It was fun for a while, and then it came crashing down. And I don't know, like, it's a very sensitive jump on, jump off thing where, if you don't jump back on at the right time, then you will absolutely destroy every gain that you made when you were off.
100%.
When and how and where and why, that's like Godspeed. And that's where I'm back at, like, okay, I did that last year to good. Like, look, I mean, I did better. Flew? Yeah, I did better by not having him than if I were to have had him the entire time. But this year I'm just like, I'm still back and just like, I just want to tuck that away, not think about it, not worry about it, and play the game with the other 14 and do that, even though I've already had no Haaland for a few game weeks and it fucking murdered me.
It was not good. So who you think about capping then? Because you've always wondering if Palmer's the cap,
This week.
Probably Haaland?
Yeah.
At Bournemouth.
Probably Haaland.
I've famously said that Bournemouth against the good teams is just an easy 3-0. And here I am considering transferring out the guy who's going to score all 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think the home factor is a little bit different for them. I think away that I'm definitely more with you there. I'm also not 0%ing looking at doing Solanke to Woodcap. I'm considering that.
Wood home West Ham.
Yep.
It's kind of weird that he's never played for West Ham. He seems like such a fucking West Ham player.
Yeah. Because I mean, everyone's away.
They'll just get him later. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking I probably would have capped Palmgod over Haaland if not for the Ten Hag firing, but I'm worried about the bounce. I don't like that.
You have to imagine whoever comes in will be pragmatic and just not want to embarrass himself. He's not going to go try and win this game or something.
Yeah, and they're going to be up for the game, and it's like got all the greatest hits. So, I'll probably just keep with Haaland and do the fucking sheep thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure where I'll end up. There were some other
good enough read.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. And there's also alternatively not like I love Mo and he's, a fucking legend. And also, I mean, Liverpool don't attack that much. He's not as involved. Like there are
Are you answering the question about why he's good at bonus points?
Well, yeah, I guess that is the question. I mean, he is playing way more creator-y this year, I think, and that's good for Bones too. But it's just like in years past, you would look at Mo and these bankers, and it's just like, oh, he's fucking double returning in all of these games. But now it's like I'm not really that confident that home Brighton and home Villa, Mo's getting 4+ shots and good chances in those games. I
mean, he's not taking 4+ shots in games. That's not what I mean. His role at all.
That's exactly what I mean. So it's also like a ding on my confidence in him as a cap. Even though he's still playing so well, it's just the quantity's just not been there.
Yeah, I mean, hat-trick potential for him is really not a thing this year.
It doesn't seem that way. I mean, he's had games where he has had that. But yeah, by and large, it's his only triple return was, I think, with 2 assists, right? Yeah, the Man United game, goal, 2 assists. That's a triple return for him now. Because he's just constantly in the build-up, and then he's such a good passer. He's so underrated as a passer. Yeah, he's always just crossing and outside of the foot crossing and all that shit. So
he's the counterattack is the pass to him, and then there's the infield runners that he's passing to, or
exactly
with Trent or whatever. But him coming inside or dribbling and keeping on his left foot and then doing the top bins, he's not able to beat players and create his own shots anymore, so he's just not doing it anymore.
Yeah,
and he's just passing instead.
He's adapted to still be really valuable and good, being slower, but it's different. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he's just slower, so he's doing different things. So, yeah, and I think there is a lot of Mo's difficult to analyze because he's been returning so steadily and so with such emphasis because of the bonus points. Really, essentially, is the bonus points is such
double digits in the last 4.
What the fuck? He has 16 bonus points on the season already, which is fucking insane number.
24 all of last season. Most he's ever had in one full season is 29.
Yeah, so he's gonna easily eclipse that. I mean, it's 9 game weeks. He has 16. So,
the changes must be helping him also. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they added getting fouled and they added shots on target.
Yeah, and missed big chances. He's getting less of those.
Yeah,
so
he's missing less big chances. He's offsides probably never. Like, he used to be offsides all the time because he was playing on the shoulder.
A game. Yep.
So it's probably just all that shit.
Yeah, role change and maybe slightly the adjustment in the rules, but yeah, he's obviously going to be good, but is he going to be this good? Like, I don't think this is the rate that we should expect. Like, better than a return a game or something like that. I think he's going to level out a bit more. Honestly,
I have a hard time just grading Liverpool's attack. Like, we're so conditioned to Klopp ball, and I miss Klopp ball. Like, that Arsenal game wasn't really a good game. The goals just went in sometimes, and I miss those fucking crazy ass games with Klopp. But we haven't really seen them just be like, oh my god, they could have scored 5 kind of game under Slot so far. There've been plenty of good attacking performances, like second half versus Ipswich and some others probably I'm forgetting about, but I just don't know if this is like the best attack in the league, which they were by a wide margin last year. I don't know if
we know that it's not? Like, why would you say it is?
Because I don't know who is Brentford.
Just because isn't another
there isn't like a standout. Marker. Like, I think they're just in a group of like the best teams. Whereas last year, they were a worse team than City and Arsenal, but their attack was out of control.
No, I mean, dude, we've been on this for over 2 months. Like, best attack, worst, I don't know. But this isn't a team that goes out and is like, oh, they could score 4 in any game. Like, no,
it's a 2-0 is like his
that's not
dream.
accurate. Yeah, absolutely. And, we've just been looking at this so far that, Mo's involvement in their 2-goal games is fucking high as shit. Is that going to keep going? Like, I don't think so. I think it's going to get spread around a little bit more. And I don't think that they're going to change or, suddenly start blowing doors down and, scoring 4 and 5s. Like, it just doesn't, that's not what he's doing. So why would that change? Which is why I keep talking about getting all the defenders, right?
Yeah, it would require the other team for that to happen. Like, it would require, Brighton. It would require Brighton going fucking bananas, all out attack, all out high press, leaving one guy back, and Liverpool just score 4 on the counter.
Where it's like, fine, I guess we have to do this, and we'll do this.
Like, we're not going to not take this space in 3v1. But when Liverpool's in control, it just does not seem to get there.
Yep.
Okay. Some other questions. Wrap it up after that. Maybe Zhao said, is it N.dot time?
I mean, he's
so good,
unlike Solanke, he fucking does fucking forward actions and tries to score goals.
He's genuinely so good.
Yeah, you like to see that.
It's a bad time to buy.
Yeah, they have a United Arsenal coming up, but then they have a good run. I mean,
they have a really long, really good run after that.
The subbing is annoying because he's exactly the kind of player, like, with his pace and work rate that you'd like to see in the last 15-20 minutes of the games.
Goal. Yeah.
And look, he has 9 returns, 9 game weeks. What more do you want? He's 7-9.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, it's just good. He's a lot like Ollie to me, honestly. He very much is reminding, the more I watch him, the more it reminds me of Ollie.
But Chelsea are not like Villa. Like, I have way more confidence in Chelsea that they will create a big chance for Nico every game. Whereas like
just
Villa
as I have way
just
more confidence in Ollie being a better player than Nico, full stop. But also like the way they play and the things they do, they're similar, right?
Nico's fucking amazing, dude.
I mean, you're fucking insane with Nico.
He just is amazing. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, not sorry. Ewan said, things we believed in and around wildcard game week 6. Arsenal defense, Spurs and City attack, Villa, all no longer feel good. What are the new things to believe in looking forward? Is that true? I still feel pretty good about those things.
I don't feel good about Spurs attack.
They'll be fine. Still expect a 3 and a 4 soon.
Yeah. Against Ipswich in the middle of 1-1-0.
Yeah, they're like
great.
You know, a 4, a 3, and a 0. That's their like rotation.
Yeah, maybe. But thanks to
Arsenal D, are we worried about Arsenal defense? I mean, you know, Raya's still great. You know, White's great. Saliba will be back. Gabriel, we have no idea if he's actually hurt. Timber, we have no idea if he's actually hurt. There are other guys that are just permanently injured. So, like, I don't even want to talk about Calafiori, Tomiyasu. Zinchenko's, like you said, not even with the fucking team. I don't know what's going on there. But should we be, like, at what point are we worried? Like, they sub on fucking someone who's not even, I don't even see him in the game. Lewis Skelly or whatever the fuck. And they sub him on instead of Zinchenko. The back line's just kind of decimated. I don't know.
I don't think you can worry here. You know, I mean,
probably not.
Yeah, it's just, you know, whoever you have is fine. They're going to be fine. They're still one of the best defenses in the league, and you know the fixtures are going to ease, and they're going to do okay. I mean, look, they concede against Southampton, not clean against Leicester. Like those are the daggers that like extends the pain, because we're sitting here for 4 game weeks where there's no clean, which is insanely long and won't be repeated again the rest of the season.
And the red card at Bournemouth too. It was like,
yeah, well, that, you know, we'll throw that one in there, but you know, I don't think that's going to be repeated again this season, you know, because this is still a team that's, you know, look, the under 1 XG conceded thing is the thing. Like that's my defense marker.
That's where you want to be all the time.
Yeah. And Liverpool have been doing that. City sometimes do that when we've talked about the noise there for City. Yeah. Because, you know, it's not accumulation of little ones. It's usually like one enormous one and then a small accumulation of little ones. So it's a little bit different, but Arsenal, just like they do that too. So, you know, I think they're going to be fine.
Oh, Lewis Skelly is in the game. He's just a
midfielder. Yeah.
Got it. Richard, Wolves have an unreal run coming up. Is it worth looking at anyone there? Is this where we have the Ryan Aounori conversation?
Whoa, dude. Sammy, buckle in.
The run is pretty crazy.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. As far as a championship team would play, Premier League teams run kind of would look like. But
yes. He keeps getting these fucking random goals.
Shit, like broken play goals. I mean, it's really 2 annoying. Of his 3 goals are those such goals, right?
Yes, and I don't remember the third. It might be the same, to be honest.
He's. I mean,
you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse.
I mean, he's just a 4 or 5 defender. I mean, all the 4 or 5 defenders kind of.
He plays really fucking high up.
Yeah, well, he didn't really this game, and now
he still did. He wasn't wing like forward like the other games, but he was still in the attacking third all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, you're looking at the 4 or 5 defender pool. It's
not great.
I mean, the comp's not great, but also, I mean, the team keeping clean sheets is also, I mean, who has 0 clean sheets? Like, hey. This is one of many of the team. Who is the other? Who else has 0 cleans?
Wolves, Southampton, and Brentford.
Burnham. Fucking. So, like, you know, you want to bring in a defender when you're sitting here going into November that has a team on 0 cleans. Godspeed. Like, go for it. Yeah. Like, you see something, say something. You don't buy him for the cleans. Don't buy a defender for clean sheets. That's fine.
But they have had an insanely bad run.
They also look like they should never keep a clean sheet for the rest of their
I know, but what will they look
eternity.
like against Southampton and Fulham and Everton and West Ham?
They look like they should be conceding chances regularly because their defenders suck and they have no good midfielders besides Mario Lemina Jr. So they're bad and
Doyle,
they will be open.
Harsh on Doyle.
They will continue to be bad. And that's that. Like, it's just, I don't care what their fixture run looks like. Like, give me.
I care.
I don't care. I don't care.
Because I think they will just run into a couple. The question is, if it's 2 cleans in the next 10, you made a fucking horrible pick.
How
Absolutely
are they going to.
Horrible pick.
Dude, they're not going to keep more than 5 this year. There's no fucking chance. Like,
how many did they keep last year?
I mean, they probably kept like 6,
5 to 7
they
or some
suck.
shit.
Like they're fucking horrible.
I know.
Like if you remove the color of their things and you remove the name and it said
5 cleans last year
and it said like Burnley and its company, you'd be like, oh yeah, like this is how they play. Like they look terrible every game. So it's like we're thinking like, oh, because of Nuno when they had fucking. A good defense. It's like this team is dog shit. Like it's dog shit. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
We're in this weird position where I'm like, who the fuck are the good 4-5s? Like, genuinely hard to find.
It's hard to find.
I mean, NFO. I think NFO and Everton are categorically above every other 4-5-ish team. They park. They're organized. They have defensive coaches. They're going to keep cleans.
I mean, I hate him, but I still think like Powell, like, they're going to keep 8 or 9.
Yeah,
I still think they're going to keep like 8 or 9. Like,
they're
not.
The thing with them is their numbers are phenomenally good.
That's it, right? It's insane how good their numbers are, and it's insane how they just throw one in every game.
Yeah, they just manage.
That's where it's like I think that they're kind of victim of the expectation because they're so at the station where it's like, oh, they should be in like the 12 to 14 region because they're first in Champions League or whatever the bullshit is. But you watch them, it's like if they keep 8, if your 4-5 defender keeps 8, you're like, oh my God, that's what I want. Like sign me up. So
those are the 4-5 options. Elron said, any advice on my ESR and Rogers rotation? What?
No advice. Next question.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Fossey said, no, forget it. We answered that already. Big Daddy, any reason to pay an extra 0.8 to go VVD over Kanate? VVD historically higher goal threat, but only 6 points between them? No. Definitely no, right?
I think it's both, not one, but yeah.
I wouldn't go over that. And Jow asking about triple Liverpool defense. Would you consider it? Jow confirmed, not a pod listener right there. Does not listen to the pod. Hates
just
the
ask
pod.
questions, doesn't listen to pod.
He just is in Discord only and asks questions. Doesn't listen.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Anything else, or should we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to do our teams today, right?
We'll do it on Thursday.
We got all the other shit.
We got huge EFL Cup games also.
Oh my God, can't wait to not watch those.
Fantastic.
Cannot
wait.
Yeah, we're chilling, baby.
We're
just going down.
No, we'll climb.
Down.
We'll climb. Captain Darwin this week. Easy. Okay. Let me slap asses. Andre, John, Ewan, Forbes, Zlatan, Ibrahim. Got it in there. Slap your ass. Thank you for signing up. Good job at you. Walsh. Any last words?
You're not really captaining.
I'll consider it.
Darwin.
I'll consider it. Captain Trent.
I'll see you tomorrow. I looked at Trent. I'm just they attack so much. It just seems
Brighton
like a little bit. They're too insane. Too insane.
It
just seems crazy to do it. But
yeah.
I still might. I still might. Honestly, I still might.
Yeah, I could see myself capping.
I could see myself capping Trent.
Haaland, Palmer, Darwin, Trent, and as my team currently has no transfers.
Yeah, Palmer's out for me on Haaland. I think that they're like too similar.
Out on Palmer. Probably
they're too similar in the fixture and like the bounce
and Haaland's
throws
just
me.
so
and,
much better. Yeah,
Haaland just is so much more chance farmery. But yeah, Trent Holm is always something, and yeah.
I mean, 2 hockey assists. Like his point dodging's on another level.
Yeah, and I mean the last home banker they had against Brighton, he banked 11, which is pretty good.
Yep. All right. Any last words?
I already said see you tomorrow.
Oh, my bad. See you tomorrow. Check us out. And FMLPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLPL. Supports BSG.com/FMLPL. Subscribe, rate, review.